Hey everyone, welcome back to Bachelor Happy Hour. I'm Joe.
And I'm Serena.
And we are here today with our guest, Brian. Brian, welcome to the podcast. How are you?
It's fun. Doing well. Thank you.
Good. We're this is the first time we're having you. So you were on Jen's season. You kind of went home like middle of the pack-ish, maybe a little at the beginning, right?
Early stint, week
Early?
2.
Yeah.
Came out
Were you-
a little hot.
Were you shocked to get the call for Paradise?
I was surprised. I was. Was debating on doing it. I'm like, do I want to do it? Didn't really expect the call, to be honest. And was excited to get it. I was like, let's do it.
I feel like you were most notable on Jen's season for your night one tension with Jeremy over the car situation. Do you want to break that down a little bit for us?
Yeah. Listen, I didn't know we had these kind of resources. When I first came out of the limo, I had 2 syringes because I'm in medical aesthetics. I also own a restaurant, but I'm in medical aesthetics, and I had shots in syringes, and we're doing these shots and the things that I brought with me. And then I see Jeremy pull up in like a sports car.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we got resources like this?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm taking that car. And I'm joking around. And all the guys in the house, like, you should do it. Like, you should do it. Yeah, take the car. And everybody in the house is on board with it. And as the night's going on, there's like no time to talk to Jen. I mean, 32 guys, 18 of them may have spoken to her. I'm like, where's my opportunity? That's the opportunity. So I go ahead and do it.
Jen.
And, is that the best first impression? I would look back and say no. Was it an iconic moment? I would look back and say yes.
Okay. And
Yeah.
you mentioned you own a restaurant. What restaurant is that?
Yeah, it's the Whale's Tail. We actually just opened up in the Hamptons on Long Island.
Nice.
Very exciting. I literally
Exciting.
left Paradise. We opened the doors 3 days later. I was like in the middle of the build out during the filming of Paradise. So it was
Where in
a
the
lot
Hamptons
to
is
juggle
it?
at once. Hampton Bays.
Okay.
So it's like literally a minute from the beach, Ponquag Beach. It's a good spot. Tacos, margaritas. It's a good time.
Is this the second one of these restaurants? Do you have another one
Yeah,
in
we have-
Florida?
We have one in Northport, actually. Northport, Long Island, Huntington
Okay.
area, North Shore. This is our first one on the South Shore. We always wanted to break like the out east area, get into the out east area. Like, was it going to be Montauk? Was it going to be East Hampton? Hampton Bays is like kind of buzzing now. Like it's going to become like the next like East Hampton kind of thing. Like, got in, I think, early. It's an area that's being very well built up. It was a great opportunity to do it. Did it with my brother-in-law. Bowman. It's been great. It's a lot of work. I'm exhausted, but
Yeah, I was gonna say that's an interesting jump from medical sales to restaurants. Have you been in like the restaurant industry at all before opening one?
So yeah, since I was 19 years old, I started the first restaurant with my brother-in-law. We opened the doors together. Like, I was like the dishwasher, the fry guy, the painter, the expediter, the waiter, the bartender. Then I ended up actually running his business for 4 or 5 years,
Okay.
straight out of college. So I knew the business in and out.
Okay.
And I was his first phone call in terms of, hey, I need a partner. Are you interested? And I'm still doing medical aesthetics today. Like, I'm in Florida today, and still in medical aesthetic sales as well. So it's a lot to juggle, but it's worth it.
Is that where you live, Florida?
Yeah, Delray.
Okay. Cool. All right, let's get into the show a little bit. So you're on this new show, Bachelor in Paradise. It's different than anything they've ever done before. Did you ever watch Paradise prior?
I did. When I received the phone call,
Yeah.
me and my brother had some late nights watching the last 2 episodes. Andrew was like my favorite character. That's why it was like crazy when he showed up. I was like, listen, bro, I'm like a fan of you. Like, I feel
Yeah.
it's weird to see you in real, like, in person, because I'm like a fan of like your character, of like who you are in the show. So yeah, it was awesome. Yeah, it was just me and my mother would just watch all the seasons back to back to back. Cause like, what are you gonna wear? So, a little strategy behind it.
That's a good move. We always say, like, people that are like, oh, I watched like one episode and then I went on it stresses me out for them.
Yeah,
Like
you
you've
should
got
have somewhat.
time
You should
to chill
have
and prepare.
you should have somewhat of a plan or a reason to go.
I just think you need
Like,
an understanding of what you're walking
yeah,
into.
yeah.
Right.
You don't need it, but it helps.
Yeah.
And I think that was my problem on Jen's season was I walked in completely blind. I had watched it, don't get me wrong. But I walked in pretty blind because like talking to the other guys, like, oh, this is what's gonna happen next. This is what's gonna happen next. We're like talking in our rooms. I'm like, oh, really? Like, oh. Like I have no idea. So
Okay, so you get down there and you kind of like hit it off with Zoe. You want to just like kind of give us a little breakdown of that relationship and
how was your day one and finding kind of that connection? Because you were, other than Kyle, I would say you were one of the guys that was less known probably to some of the women because you did go home so early on Jen's season.
yes, so there's a lot to unpack there. So I didn't speak to any of the guys when I got the phone call, so I wanted it to be a surprise. And we had Jonathan, Ricky, Jeremy, Spencer, all day one people, myself being one of them as well. So I was nervous going into it, one, because I'm like, I hope they don't, the girls don't know me for the guy that stole Jeremy's car. Like,
yeah.
I hope they don't remember me for that person. So I had a little nerves going into it from that aspect. And then when I walked in, there was like a lot of comfort around like at least the guys. Because like, oh, I was like, we've done this together a year ago. So that was kind of like what was going on in my mind, and they were super like surprised and excited to see me. So it was definitely like a fun intro, and like this is going to be an amazing experience. And then like leading into like the Zoe situation, we're all sitting down, having a conversation, everyone's getting to know each other. No one knows me as the guy that took the car from Jen seasons. Yeah. Okay, I'm in the clear here. And then all the guys are like, yeah, no, he was on the show with us. So they're like, okay, he's valid, he's good. So I'm like, okay, now I'm comfortable. And we're just having conversations. And Zoe stands out as like someone who starts like pressing me in a good way, like asking me like tough questions and like argumentative, but it's like attractive because like she wants to get to know who I am and like just asking me difficult questions. And I'm like super engaged. And I'm like, okay, like this is attractive. And like that's like really where we hit it off because like just that situation and her interest and like her just hitting me with tough questions. And it was kind of like a fun, like friendly, like argumentative conversations. That's like the way it started off for like the first half of the day.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Were you worried about any potential tension between you and Jeremy at all?
Yes and no. He and I have gotten past it. I'd like to think so. I later find out that we did. But I don't know what kind of resentment he may hold from it. You know what I mean? Like it's not really the best look for him, not really the best look for me, but it was a funny.
I mean, but like overall, out of all the like beefs and things that have happened on this show, this is very minuscule. Like this isn't
like, it wasn't like this happened and then you were on the show for 5-6 more weeks to where you kind of like can get past it and like develop that friendship. So you never really know where people stand, where he's just like made a judgment on you and is walking around being like, that guy's a douche, don't talk to him.
Yeah, 100%.
You don't know, like
took the car, Grant's beatboxing, then I freestyled to Grant's beatbox about stealing the car from him, and like everyone in the room's laughing except for him. And I'm like, is there going to be resentment because of it?
Yeah.
And we had conversations post show, and I thought we were good, and honestly, we were. Like the way.
Yeah.
When I came in, the way he spoke to me, he's like, dude, I'm super surprised to see you. Like, it's great to see you. And it seemed good. And later on, when we have conversations, we realize that we're on the same page. So.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
some things go down.
We're gonna get into some conversations between you and Jeremy later, so don't worry
about
that.
For a couple of weeks.
We'll get into that in a little bit. I would say to like kind of just like talk a little bit more about the Zoe situation. Parisa comes in. Obviously, you're not at this point. No one's going to be closed off. You go on the date with Parisa. Zoe really does not like the way you handled the situation. I guess like, what's your take on that? Do you regret anything?
It's tough to say. I mean, we're in the first week of Paradise, and everyone needs to be open. Everyone's kind of on the same page as being open, except for Spencer and Jess. They love at first sight, and like that. That's it,
Yeah.
and it just goes on. But everyone else, like our options are open. Like it's the first week. We have 10 more weeks to go through meeting connections, meeting other people, seeing if you have a connection with someone else, have conversations with other people. And I was always open to that. And I felt as though I had that conversation, had, iterated that to her. And it was like when the power shift of the rose, like there's a very serious power shift of the rose. It's like when the girls have it, the guys want the rose. And when the guys have the rose, the girls start to change up and people's mentalities start to change. It's like I woke up that morning and she was very uneasy immediately. Like I said hi to her in the morning. We had breakfast, but she was very tense and kind of closed off. And it was like, it was tough to really have a conversation with her. And I was kind of like tiptoeing around her. I felt like I was walking on eggshells a little bit. And it was uncomfortable. Like I clearly look uncomfortable. And it's not because I'm trying to be like sleazy or have some sort of, alternate agenda. I legitimately feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And like feel as though, and I've also heard from some other girls, like how she reacts to things from Grant season. Yeah. How she reacts to things. So I'm like a little nervous to be completely upfront about everything, but I am saying to her, like, let's keep our options open.
Yeah.
But again,
she said she felt like you switched up that morning, but you feel that she switched up that morning in terms of where you guys were at.
We're talking about the morning after your date with Parisa.
No, I'm talking about the morning after the rose ceremony,
Oh.
which I think is
Right.
the morning you're referring to as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, there was just intense energy
Okay.
Okay.
that I was feeling from her. Like, I mean, we're sitting down eating breakfast. I'm like eating the fruit, and you can literally hear like the crunches of the fruit. This is 9 a.m. Like, I woke up
Yeah.
2 hours ago. Like, be a little enthusiastic. Like, hey, babe, what's going on? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was almost like she woke up and felt like it was over before it was over. And like that,
Right.
I felt that energy, and I was like, do I need to look elsewhere? Like, what is going on? And I
Was
know the viewers may
there
see it another way, but that's how I felt.
was there any like feeling of we should have a conversation, or were you thinking of more taking like a backseat approach of all right, let's see how the day unfolds, let's see where this is coming from?
And at the end of the day, you now have the rose, so it's kind of like you do have the power at this point. Well, but he does. I mean, like he
It's such a
does.
true statement. It's a very true statement. It's the power shift is incredible. It really is. So it's true. What he's saying is very valid. But I'm just kind of feeling things out, and I'm like, yeah, let's see who else comes here. Let's have conversations. But the energy immediately, I'm being completely honest. Like the energy she was giving, it wasn't like I'm eating. You could put your arm around me and say like, hey, good morning, and like give me a hug and a kiss too. Like, not all the attention has to come from me immediately.
Mhm.
And
Okay.
that's kind of like what was happening. And it's not that I didn't feel wanted, but it's almost that like I'm telling you, like she came out that morning as if like it was over before it was over. And the game was literally didn't even start.
Okay. So then we see Parisa come in. You and Zoe, it sounds like on both sides, you're both feeling like you're not in a good place that morning. Parisa comes in, you have a conversation with her. Definitely seems like there's kind of an immediate attraction, interest. Walk us through that.
Yeah, I mean, it's me and Spencer and Jonathan are just throwing the football around on the beach. It's like one of my favorite things to do. And then two girls just rip jet skis, beach them, and just Baywatch their life jackets off. And I'm like, whoa, like it was a scene.
Yeah.
And I was like, who is this? Like, I don't know who they are. And then I did know who they are, previously from Grant season. And, we lock eyes and we're having good conversation, good communication. And immediately, yes, I'm interested. Like I could tell she's Italian. I'm Italian. There's some attraction to it, but like energy is the most important thing. So like, I'm willing to, I'm just open to having a conversation. I'm not like, it's not like love at first sight, but excited to like have conversations with people. Like there were still conversations I wanted to have with Alex, conversations I wanted to have with Lexi, which we can get into later as well, that I may or may not have been able to have. But that's like where my head was at the time.
So then
Okay.
after you clearly hit it off on the date with Parisa. After that date, are you at all like torn of like, oh, should I give my rose to Zoe, or are you just kind of like, okay, right for the time being, I'm gonna stick with Parisa now.
The date. So this is like the other thing I could say is like the date went like so well. Like
Yeah, it
all
seemed that
right
way.
there.
Yeah,
We're on the date. It's like the conversation is so organic and enthusiastic and fun and exciting. And I'm like smiling involuntarily, ear to ear. And some things with Zoe felt like very forced on both ends. Like, hey, you want to go for a walk on the beach? I'm like, do you want to go for a walk? Is it a question? Like, or do you like, let's just go for a walk? Tell me, like, let's go for a walk. And like with Parisa, things were just so naturally organic. Like, we're just yapping to each other without thinking about anything.
yeah,
And like as soon as I saw that, I'm like, okay, there's a spark, there's a connection. And don't get me wrong, there was a spark and a connection with Zoe as well, but like this one is the flames are much higher, right?
got it.
And I don't have my mind made up at all because I'm still getting to know her. I'm like, if I give her a rose, is she going to give me a rose next week, or is some guy's going to come in and she's attracted to somebody else? Because I'm sure she has a list of people that she's attracted to and wants to see coming to paradise as well. Because everyone's options are still open. It's paradise. Like we can't forget that it's paradise. It's week 1. There's 10 weeks. There's a
Definitely.
lot going on and a lot of arrivals and a lot of people to have conversations with. So not immediately, but I'm definitely hot on Parisa without a doubt for sure in this moment.
Okay.
Okay.
So then we jump to the next morning. You come back from your date. We see you and Fraser still kind of sharing some one-on-one time. You're going swimming together. And then we see a conversation between you and Zoe where she expresses her frustrations with how you handled that situation. Do you see where she's coming from? Do you have any regrets? Is there anything you want to add that maybe we didn't see?
Am I allowed to?
Say anything you want.
Yeah.
That conversation was much longer than was showed, obviously for reasons of television can only go on for so
Yeah.
long. That season could be a year long if you wanted to watch it.
Well, that's what I tell people. A lot of people that come on, they're like, well, they didn't see everything. It's like, well, no shit. Like, you guys are filming 14 hours a day. If we saw it all, it would take a long time.
Actually 24/7 because we have audio and cameras in our room, so it's
Yeah.
at all times. And it was a much longer conversation that was obviously portrayed because of whatever restrictions. And there's a lot of things that I didn't like that I heard, and a lot of things that she was completely validated in saying. But the way she approached it, I was completely turned off by. I'm like,
You were
this
completely what?
turned off by.
Okay.
Like again, she came in with like knowing the game was over before the game was over, and that's how she handled the situation. Like she attacked my character, my integrity, called me names, said a bunch of things to me. I completely bit my lip. I'm like, I'm not gonna get involved with calling people names and describing people and giving attack people's character. I'm not gonna do that. So she did that, and I was like, okay. Like at that point, my decision was made up based on that conversation. Yes,
Yeah.
it was. Was she valid in a lot of things that she said? Absolutely. The way she handled it, absolutely not. And
Gotcha.
after that conversation, my mind was 95% made up. She does approach me later on at the rose ceremony, does have a nice conversation with me, does apologize. And she's like, listen, I think I came on to you like really hot and really strong. I could have approached you better. And like now we're at, it's the 11th hour, and I'm like, well, wait a second. Like, okay. She's like, accepting that like maybe she didn't approach it the right way. Now it's the rose ceremony, and I'm like thinking, do I give her another shot or do I go with Parisa? So it's weird because that day I was like pacing the entire resort, super upset about the conversation we had.
Yeah.
And then the rose ceremony, she's starting to like convince me that like she could have handled it better with the conversation. And now I'm in a toss up, and it went from like 95% to like 60-40.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so you end up choosing Parisa. We'll cut to this episode because you and Parisa win the overnight challenge,
Yeah.
where the challenge looked like I personally would have absolutely hated it. Like we watched it, I was like, I would never
This is Joe's nightmare. Like having to dress up in any costume and play any sort of like performance kind of game. It's like his literal nightmare.
That's
But
my nightmare. Yeah.
it looked like watching the episode, you guys did great and it came across very fun. I would imagine it also felt a little awkward, but it it read
But you guys
very fun.
won. You guys won. Did you
I
think you were going to
couldn't
win?
agree with you more. So I was in that outfit for about 8 hours, really upset about it. I'm like, but when all the guys got into a room together, like we started playing, playing music, we're listening to Future and a bunch of other songs, like we're all getting hyped up and everyone's just leaning into it. I'm like, all right, we're gonna do this, like we're gonna do it. Like
Yeah.
we're gonna lean into this and do it. And then like once everybody, even like the Goldens, like Keith and Kim, like had some crazy outfits on, they took it super serious. And we all just leaned into it. Like that's when like all of those feelings like went away. Like I don't want to
Yeah.
do this. I don't want to be dressed like this. I don't want to perform. I don't want to do it. And it became like honestly, it actually became like fun. Like we had a blast doing it. It was a good time. And I'm like, one, I want to have like one-on-one time with Parisa, like away from cameras, have in-depth conversations. And two, like all my buddies, like my nickname's like the dancer. Like I'm out, whatever, the bars, clubs, like I'm always dancing, having a good time. So I'm like, I need to like rep the nickname. I need to win the challenge. It's got to be done.
Okay, so you win the challenge, and we see a little bit of your overnight now. Again, like you mentioned before, I'm sure there's a lot of conversations had in that room that we don't get to see. But what we do see is kind of I would call it an argument of you guys are kind of like, she's like, "What's your favorite color?" And you're like, "I'm not playing that game right now." You're laughing, so let's get into that because it seemed like it was a big issue for Parisa at the time.
She says in her interview, like, I was just trying to be playful and he snapped at me. And that is kind of how it reads watching it as a viewer. So
Yeah.
can you provide more context?
Yeah.
Maybe you just don't have a favorite color. And
Yeah,
you fucking
maybe
missed your
exactly. I hate that
To be
question.
honest with you, I don't like. I've chosen one. Like I really don't have a favorite color. It's like it depends on the time of the year, the season, what outfit I'm wearing.
Yeah.
But I was in this outfit that you said you don't want to be in. I don't want to be in it either. And I was in this outfit for like 8 hours. It's raining. I'm sweaty. I'm exhausted. It's 2 a.m. It's literally a full moon. The stars are incredible.
Yeah.
We have an oceanfront view. There's a pool. There's a hot tub. There's like 5 bedrooms, 5 showers. There's 2 kitchens. There's an elevator in the place. We're drinking champagne. And like, I just want to swim around the pool and like have like a romantic moment and like just have simple conversation and be left alone. So I'm kind of fiery with the camera crew and production.
This is exactly what you said.
Yeah.
Well,
This was,
literally,
I
I
assume.
know exactly what's happening here. Like they want them to film a chat in the pool, and Brian doesn't want to be on a TV show anymore.
I mean,
Real fiery.
go on the show long enough. I mean, you go on the show many times and you'll be able to pick up what's happening. But
Yeah, and I'm always like respectful to the production crew and things like that. But I'm like, listen, it's 2 a.m. You guys want us out of here at 8. We have 6 hours together. And then so she's like, so we're having a conversation, and that's her opener. So we're sitting in the pool, and she's like, so what's your favorite color? And I was like, I'm not doing this. I was like, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. And then she started crying, and I was like, oh my God, like, what did I do? And it was a lot of, what I was doing preemptively with the camera crew and stuff like that, that created that. She's like, yeah, I was just trying to have like a fun conversation. I'm sorry. And I'm like, I shouldn't have reacted that way. I shouldn't have. I really just wanted to like embrace like the scenery and like everything that all the amenities that we have here to enjoy them. And like we've had very in-depth conversations about our families, and we know already like a lot about each other. And just the opener is, what's your favorite color? And I was like,
that was it.
yeah, that was it, man. I was just like, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. And she got upset about it, which then I felt bad for her because I didn't think she'd react that way. And then immediately, like I settled down, I calmed down. I'm like, okay, like was that why you got upset? Like, trying to figure out like where the emotions are coming from. And we do move beyond it. Like we end up having like a great night. Like
Okay.
that's over with.
Okay.
The camera crew leaves. Like me and her talk. We're in the pool. We have a sick time in the hot tub. We'll just leave it at that. We're drinking champagne. We have the charcuterie board, and we take full advantage of the VIP suite
Nice.
and end up having a wonderful night. And we completely get over it. But
Okay,
I had a
interesting.
moment. I had a moment.
It doesn't look that way in the morning. And we do see Parisa say, I kind of wish we didn't win the challenge because it was so difficult. Do you feel like you were on the same page in the morning about how the rest of the night went?
I think we were. I do.
Okay. Okay. There was maybe just a little bit of lingering frustrations from that specific moment, but the rest of the night, you guys did get past it.
100%. Because I'm like, don't worry. I'm like, they're not going to use that for the show. She's like, they're definitely going to use that for the show. Like me being just insanely naive. And there was some, yes.
It's literally all they used.
Residual, There's definitely some residual frustration, resentment from that moment. But the night that we had was an incredible night.
Okay.
Nice.
That's great.
Okay, so the last thing we want to touch on real quick is you and Jeremy are in the bedroom together. There's pellicles. You guys are aware that you're being filmed, correct?
You're
aware. Okay. You're aware, but
to the extent, no. Like
okay.
Hakeem's like blowout that he had, I love him to death, but I had to rewatch it 5 times because it was hilarious. But I love him to death at his expense. But I don't think he knew he was being filmed.
Okay.
When he was in the bathroom going crazy. So going back.
In this moment, there's definitely, as much as you're probably thinking like this is never gonna make the cut, we do see Jeremy is like hiding from the camera, like fiddling his mic a little bit. So it
didn't work.
More obvious that you don't want this conversation to be on camera. I mean, you're on camera. He's hiding in the corner, but we can hear what's happening.
Yeah. Okay. And he says, I don't want. What does he say?
Jeremy says, I don't want to win this competition with Bailey.
And I miss Susie.
And essentially, like, I wish I'd given Susie the rose. And if she came back tomorrow, I would give her my rose over Bailey. We hear you talk a little bit about how like Parisa wants you guys to win the competition and like that, you want to have that time together. So it's kind of like this polarizing conversation of, you and Parisa really wanting to win this challenge and Jeremy essentially exposing like, I don't want that private time with Bailey.
Which I will say, sorry to cut you off, was strange to me because it does seem like watching the show that Jeremy is into Bailey.
Yes. As a viewer, it's shocking because they present as such a strong couple.
Oh, yeah, but they seem like they're into each other.
Totally. And I think they are, but it sounds like he is not as into her as we thought.
So it wasn't that surprising because when Justin tries to give the rose to Susie and Justin walks off, I'm like next to Dale. Jeremy's like one person away from me, and he literally turns over and he's like, F. And I'm like, what? He's like, I thought Justin was going to give it to Susie and Susie was going to accept the rose, and I'd still have options open to talk to both of them. And I was like, oh.
Yeah, we wondered that when that played out. We were saying, I wonder if Jeremy would have made a different decision had he known that Susie wasn't going to accept Justin's rose.
Right. You can see his facial expression. He's not shocked that Justin left and Susie didn't accept the rose. He's more shocked, like, oh, she's got it.
Yeah.
And I don't know how deep it is until we're in the room together, trying to win this challenge. And he opens up about it like deeply. It's just me, Dale, Jeremy, and he's like, dude, if I as soon as I get out of here, like I'm DMing Susie. he's like, bro, he's like getting like so emotional. He's like, I would propose to her like on the spot right now. And I'm just like, damn, man, like really? It's like that. So I don't know what to think of it, and I'm just just listening, and I'm not judging because I'm like, listen, like I get it, like. It's
Paradise. You guys have only been there for a short amount of time.
This might be week 3, and like we're still exploring connections. She was a late arrival, So like, I'm not here to judge him about it. Like I understand, I get it. Like explore both options. They're both great people. Like Bailey's an amazing person. Susie's an amazing person. Like if you know, he went on a great date with her as well. And I could see him cheesing ear to ear. And he was like, this has been my best day of paradise that I've ever had, like so far. And like, he meant that. You could see it on his face. So I think he was really struggling with like, did I make the wrong decision? And I think the words were a little strong, saying like, I don't even want to win this challenge, but maybe he was just dealing with an internal emotion at the time. Like, I think I made the wrong decision and struggling with that.
Okay. Do you think Bailey was aware at this time of how much he was struggling with Susie leaving?
I don't think anyone was, aside from Dale and I, at all.
Okay. So this wasn't like an open dialogue that him and Bailey were having. This was like something he was dealing with internally and confiding in you guys privately.
100%. Yeah.
So, you know, the episode ends. It seems like you and Preez are in a good place. We don't know what's going to happen with Jeremy and Bailey, but what we do see in the teaser is that the format of Paradise is going to be changing in the upcoming episodes, and there is $500,000 at play. Without giving too much away, because obviously we haven't seen it yet, can you kind of tease what this does for your relationship and the rest of Paradise?
You can start with the relationship. Teresa and I go through a lot of highs and a lot of lows, but it continues to build us. But a lot of highs and a lot of lows, which bring us together in an interesting way. And the money situation becomes interesting because people begin to act very differently when money becomes into the situation.
That's how it usually works. Nice.
Very different.
Well, Brian, it was great meeting you. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day and hopping on this podcast.
All right, cool. Thank you, guys.
Yep. And to all our listeners, thank you for tuning in to Bachelor Happy Hour. Make sure you download and subscribe to the podcast.
We have new and exclusive interviews every single week. Thanks so much for listening. Bye.